Hello, good people. I hope that you are doing well. My name is Kamara, and today we are going to talk about 12 questions that you can ask on your first date. Now, I know that there are a lot of dating gurus, dating coaches, and for all of my young professionals, you're just getting back out there. You're like, okay, Kamara, what do I ask? So, I have sat in enough counseling sessions. I think I've watched enough videos to come up with a few questions. Now, what I do want to tell you is that tailor these as your own. Sometimes you can meet people on Bumble, you can meet people on Hinge, or you might meet people at the grocery store, at the movie theater. So if you already had that small talk and small conversation, you want to come to the table with some new and fresh questions, okay? And for my ladies out there, do not overtalk the guy, okay? This is just wisdom that I've heard. Do not overtalk the guy. So, number one, let's get into it. Oh, and I have to do the YouTube thing. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel because I think that would be helpful. So the first question that you're going to ask is, where do you see yourself in 2 to 5 years? A lot of people would say 5 to 10, but if you're in your 20s, 30s, you want to think about, okay, if we do get serious, or if y'all live in different states, or if y'all might live in the same city, where do you see your job going, your career, and does that match up? You don't have to have all the answers, but where do you see yourself in 2 to 5 years, okay? Number two, what are your thoughts on marriage? Now, a lot of people might say, Kamara, that's a heavy question, but it depends. If you are seriously dating, you want to go ahead and ask, do you believe in monogamy? Do you believe, like what are your beliefs? Because some people, they might have different things going on. So you just want to make sure you're on the same page, okay? And then number three, how do you feel about having children? I've met some guys and they say, listen, I don't want to have kids. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is not in alignment. I say, because I do, and I'm going to have a lot of them. So, yeah, you tell me how you want to move forward. And when do you think the right time would be to have kids? There are a lot of people who say, listen, they've waited 2, 3 years so they can enjoy, their significant other. But then there's some people like, we need to pop these out. Like, let's go. So you want to make sure y'all are in alignment. And then also understand, if y'all do choose to be together, things do change. So it's okay. You probably started off saying, I want to wait a year or two. Then you never know. He might really love you and say, let's get this thing going now. That's not an indicator on love, but y'all know what I'm saying. Number four, what do you think are key ingredients to a successful and lasting relationship, y'all? This is key because everybody's love language is different. Oh, I might do a video on that. But love language is key. Even in friendships, you're like, okay, words of affirmation. This really encourages my partner. Or gifts. I know people who they just like get gifts and they also give gifts as well. Another thing is quality time. You want to find out what's your partner's love language, probably first or second date, so you know how to address it. Number five, how do you see us handling finances together? Y'all, this is big because I've seen a lot of couples, they live together, as they were dating to each their own, but they lived together. And then once they got married, they're like, I didn't know that this person was like this with their finances because they almost did things 50-50, right? So then now it was shared, and they're like, okay, so what is this? You want to make sure that the finances are together. Credit score, savings account. Do you have just one source of income? We have to look at that, okay? Number six, how important is family to you? And what role do you see them playing in your future? Family is big for some people. There's some people that don't talk to their family at all. There's some people every 3 months they have their family reunion. So you need to know. And if you're a woman who you don't like to be around a lot of people, go ahead and let them know now. If you're a man, you don't want to be family oriented, go ahead and tell somebody now so they can make the proper decision. And another thing, don't people please. Don't people please, because a lot of times some people, they get in relationships and they're like, okay, I really want to be with somebody, and then they end up with the wrong person or they end up settling, right? I'm not talking about in dating, I'm just talking about, long term and in marriage. So then next thing you know, you're like, oh shoot, they're talking about family, kids, this and that. You want to make sure y'all on the same page. Okay, next question. What kind of lifestyle do you see us building together? I'm big on this. So you don't want somebody, this is my opinion, who is average and who is not ambitious. You want somebody who has an entrepreneurial mindset. And entrepreneur doesn't mean you have your own business, but entrepreneurial means that you can still have your 9 to 5, and you could still have something else that you do, or a e-commerce business on the side as well. Okay. Another thing is, if you are a male and you see yourself taking all of these lavish trips, but your girlfriend, and this is no shade if you work customer service, it's okay. But if you see yourself always working customer service for the next 30 years, then that might not be in alignment unless you want to be a stay-at-home wife or vice versa. So it's good to talk about those things. And then number 8, how do you approach solving conflicts in a relationship? And what do you think we can work on? Y'all, I have seen some people, well, I should say I've heard of some people breaking up over a toilet seat. That's real. If you ask me, that's built up anger and frustration and unresolved conflict. But again, I've seen people just tear up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like y'all were just good. But, and then you start talking to them, and then they tell you, well, 2 or 3 months ago, they did this, I didn't like it. And they never told their partner. And next thing you know, they just blow up. So to prevent that, let's talk about how you avoid conflict. And another thing is childhood. Ask them what happened in their childhood, that, makes them do certain things, because that can help you work out and have understanding on a lot of just different issues. Number 9, what are your expectations when it comes to balancing work, personal time, and time together? I'm gonna say this. I know some people. I know a lot of people, but I know some people who they're begging to spend time with their significant other. Like I know, and let me say not I know, because I'm in like these different groups, but a wife, she said that, her husband is always at work. He works 2 or 3 jobs. He's providing for the family, right? Because she got laid off. But she was like, listen, ladies, what can we do to have some alone time? Everybody's saying you need to go get you another job. And then maybe he can take off one of those jobs so then y'all can, hang out on a Saturday or Sunday. Another thing is shared responsibility. We have this huge thing in our generation on 50-50. But one thing that I know is it's 100-100. Even if one person is the primary provider, the other person at home can be 100% doing everything, not being a slave, okay, but 100% and contributing as well. So just put that out there. Number 10, how do you feel about growing and changing as individuals while staying connected as a couple? Yes. Let me tell you something. Stagnation is real. And there are some people who they say, listen, I hit 250,000, I hit 150,000, I'm good. There's some people like, no, I think you can make 500, 750, let's even go for 1 million. That's what you want to do. That's entrepreneurial, that's ambitious. Now, there are some people who they comfortable. They say, I don't need all of that. But now, if you are a person who you're always going on business trips and you're always striving to do something else, and you have somebody who is staying at home and they're not okay with you traveling, then you all have to come to an agreement on what you're going to do. And that might just be understanding. This is who I am and this is my purpose in life. Do you want to take this journey with me? Okay. Number 11, what does commitment mean to you, and how do you keep our relationship strong over time? You want to keep it wet. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep it spicy. You want to keep it fresh. For my single people, you always want to look good, smell good, all of that. But now also for my married people, I've heard this. You also want to, updo yourself probably every 3 to 6 months, because it's just like a car. You need good maintenance. So I encourage you to write out some things of how both of y'all keep it fresh. Like, what do you like about each other? For the girl, for the guy, you might like, he wears a certain cologne, or he has a certain haircut, he wears these clothes. Work out. You need to keep your bodies in shape, okay? Now, I eat crazy, but I'm a little slim. And just because I'm slim don't mean I'm fit, but I am fit. Just put that out there. Okay, number 11. What does commitment mean to you? Ooh, and how do you keep our relationship strong over time? Commitment means different things to different people. There are people who believe in open relationships. There are people who believe in I'm with you, but I can also be with others, but they don't consider that open. So you all need to determine, what do you all think is cheating? Is it emotional, physical, or all of the above? Or is it mental? If you thought about somebody yesterday, that's a problem. Put that out there. Number 12. And finally, what do you think we can improve on or grow as a couple moving forward? This is key, because a lot of people, it's the small things that build up over time. So you want to make sure that you have, I'm not going to say a workflow, but you're doing check-ins. I know a couple who they do twice a year check-ins and say, listen, what are we doing? How are we doing? Are we moving towards our goals? Sometimes in life we can get stagnant. We just have a normal routine and then we're on autopilot. But I do think that a lot of you all, as you get into relationships or as you spice up your own relationships, that you're going to be like, this is some goals I want to accomplish. I want my partner to do it with me. So if you found that this video was enjoyable, go ahead and subscribe. If you have any questions that you think that I missed or you think that'll be valuable, go ahead and post it in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.